Hi North Olmsted Elementary teachers. In this video, we are going to walk through setting up your new Scholastic News account. Please note that I am probably going to ask you to set this up slightly different than you have done in the past. So first off, you are going to get a very specific PDF from me. Please keep in mind that the PDF is grade level specific. So do not confuse the codes and information with a teacher from another grade level. Students or teachers in grade K, you will receive a PDF for Let's Find Out, which is the kindergarten version of Scholastic News, or the pre-K version. Grades 1 through 4, you will receive a PDF for your corresponding grade level. In grade 5, you will receive a PDF that is actually for Scholastic News 5-6, because Scholastic combines 5th and 6th grade together. Please keep in mind that these codes are only for elementary. Middle school has its own thing, so this is only for your specific grade level. When you get that PDF, it will have some information on it. Please keep in mind, again, it is grade level specific, so you won't want to share in between grade levels. So the first thing that you would want to do, and it walks you through with pictures, but then I'm going to give you a few other pointers once we get in there, is go to scholastic.com/ and then whatever the name of the magazine is. This particular one I have up right now is kindergarten, so I'm going to go to scholastic.com/ let's find out for kindergarten, and I'm going to select login like the PDF says, and then I'm going to click I am a teacher. Here's the big change that maybe you weren't doing before. So in the past, you were probably used to signing in with your old Scholastic account. I certainly was. And then I came up with a code, and I shared that code with my students. The big change for this year is we are actually going to be using Google Classroom. We're using this for 2 reasons instead of Clever. The first is, if you connect with Google Classroom, your Scholastic subscription will easily connect into your Google Classroom, which is, I know, what many of you are looking for. The second is because of how Clever is set up with companies, Scholastic would also prefer us going through Google Classroom. So it's a win-win for us. So if you already have an account here, please ignore it. Doesn't mean your account is disappearing. You can see that I have an account under my NOCS Eagles, which is hooked back to when I used to use book clubs in classroom, in my own classroom. This time I am going to click sign in with Google Classroom, and then from the list of accounts, you're going to want to select your account. Scholastic will prompt you during this time to make sure that you sign in with all of your permissions. Make sure that you allow the different access to Scholastic. That is completely okay. And then you will get to a screen where it prompts you for your code. When you get to that screen where it prompts you for your code, you're going to want to input this code right here. Okay, that code will be different depending on which magazine that you are looking at. Once you put in that code, it will prompt you to connect your Google Classroom. You can go ahead and connect your Google Classroom at that time, or if you don't have your classroom set up, you can wait on that. And I can now see that I logged back in, and it took me directly to the code that I used. So I use Let's Find Out. I'm in the Let's Find Out subscription. If I click up here with the little person and select My Dashboard, I want to show you how you can go back into the Managing Student Access, because you can set this up at any time and it will sync with your Google Classroom. So you will simply click Manage Access here, and then you'll notice that I have no classes imported yet. I want to import a new class. So I'm going to click to import a new class. It will take a moment to load my classroom, and then it will allow me to select which classes I want to import. please keep in mind that this subscription is only for your homeroom class in grades K through 3 or in grades 4 or 5. This would be through for each of the classes that you work with. So you'd want to check the class, and then from the drop down choose your grade level, kindergarten all the way up through 5th grade, and then click import. The one important thing to note about the import screen is if you get new students throughout the year or your roster changes, you do need to make sure that in your main screen for Scholastic, you go back to this dashboard and you update the access. So while Scholastic will recognize that you have new students on your roster, it may not add those new students to your roster. So you'll want to make sure that you connect students in with that, and that is there for them. So let's talk about what you need to do then for students to access. So once you have your students all connected here, then for student access, you are going to be sending students to, let's make sure I signed out. Okay, so you're going to want to send students to the specific link for your magazine. So for kindergarten, it's letsfindout.scholastic.com. Students would simply click the I am a student. You may be able to bookmark this page, although sometimes it still sends students back to the main. Here's the awesome part. You no longer have to have them enter a password. They simply click Google Classroom to sign in. So that will help connect it a little bit more seamlessly. There is no need to develop that classroom password anymore. Beyond that, at this point, because I don't have any students, I can't make tutorials to take you a little bit further, but this will at least get you with the access, get it set up. And then when we get into the school year, I can work with a couple teachers to create some more tutorials to help you use your magazines further within your Google Classroom.